Date, time, and temperature. Sunday, March 9th, 2025, 8:45 a.m. at 31 degrees. I have busted out my Disney Pop Century Resort coffee mug, which means today we are going to another pop culture convention. I'll also be starting this day with my coffee and a mixture of cinnamon apple and cinnamon brown sugar oatmeal and delicious strawberry banana yogurt. For today's detour, you and I have traveled back to Boxborough, Massachusetts, more specifically over here to the Boxborough Regency Hotel and Convention Center. We are here today for the Northeast Comic-Con and Collectibles Extravaganza 2025. My friend Gary holds this convention several times a year. I always love coming to this convention to look for artifacts from my past, possibly toys or records or cassette tapes, VHS tapes of stuff that I owned as a kid that have got lost in the shuffle over the years, stuff my parents have thrown away over the years, or stuff that I have thrown away over the years. So it's like a treasure hunt. Every time I come here, I tell you it's like a treasure hunt for pop culture goodness. In case you're wondering about this, if you didn't watch last detour, I broke my finger in an escape room. By the time that this video airs on YouTube, I will have my surgery. My surgery is for tomorrow at noon, so hopefully, well, this broken finger will be all fixed, and the tendons that I pulled from said finger will be reattached. 3 to 6 month recovery time, then I'll be back to normal.
Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and I just want to wish Derek a very speedy recovery. I hope you get well real soon, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.
Enough about this hand. Join me, if you will, as I show you the sights, the sounds, the smells, and the tastes of the Northeast Comic-Con and Collectibles Extravaganza 2025. I have got my wristband to the Northeast Comic-Con and Collectibles Extravaganza. Such a retro look, such a retro 70s look. Kind of reminds me of the Polynesian Resort. Yeah, like check this out. This indoor pool with the rooms that overlook the inside of the hotel. This is awesome. So totally like retro looking, 70s looking. Get the bar right over there. Due to my surgery tomorrow, I'm not allowed to have any alcohol. Within 24 hours of my surgery, it is currently 11 a.m., so I can partake in some beers for the next hour. Then no more beers for the next 24 hours. I think I'll be okay. Here is the menu at the bar. I might grab myself some lunch and a couple of beers before I head to the convention. Maybe 2 beers. I can have 2 beers probably before I head in. It's again 1 hour before noon. That cheese pizza looks yummy. Can you believe that I had my first piece of pepperoni pizza last week? 51 years old, never had pepperoni pizza until last week. My friend Nicole at work said, "Detours, you gotta try it. You gotta try the pepperoni." I've been going to a bunch of doctor's appointments the last week or so for this hand surgery. Figured I'd do a healthy beer, a Mick Ultra, changing it up from the Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Lite, Jack and Coke. Healthier beer. Cheers. Check out this photo up over here. You can stand in there and make yourself look like a Star Wars action figure. If you're not a Star Wars person, you can get yourself a photo up over here portraying an action figure in perhaps a Marvel or DC movie. They have other photo ops over here at the Northeast Comic-Con. I'm definitely digging this Godzilla photo op. If you want to pretend like you're part of the Iron Man universe. Gary always has some great stuff over here. Check out that Creature from the Black Lagoon print right there, and all these vintage comic books. You can always find some cool stuff out here at the Northeast Comic-Con. Oh, Gary's got a collection of Universal monster figures over here. Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Mummy, the Wolfman, Frankenstein. Check out this vintage Sesame Street lunchbox. I wonder if it's still got the thermos. I feel like I had this toy when I was a kid. This looks very familiar to me. Mickey Mouse Overload over here. Check out all these different vintage Mickeys. Sorcerer Mickey over there from Fantasia. There's Goofy. That's something I've never seen before. Check out this Wolfman action figure. Is that an action figure or a model kit? That's awesome. Gary always has a great selection of Roger Rabbit memorabilia. If you're into Roger Rabbit, I am. I dressed as Roger Rabbit in middle school for a middle school dance. It was like a Halloween dance. I was Roger Rabbit. My picture was taken. It was put into the town newspaper. Gary!
Please help me, Eddie.
The guy that runs the show. Uh-oh, what are you pulling out, Gary? More Roger Rabbits than you can shake a stick at. Those all vintage, Gary?
All original.
Yeah?
Roger Rabbit slippers. Roger Rabbit plush. Roger Rabbit backpack. Roger Rabbit from Japan. Benny the Cab. Benny the Cab and Roger from Japan. Ta-da!
Ooh, what is this thing over here? Another Wolfman memorabilia. I love the Universal Monsters. Gary's always had a great selection of Universal Monster stuff over here at his booth. Got some Frankenstein's monster figures over here, and what is this? Monster of Madness. I've never seen this before. This intrigues me. That's definitely vintage. Check this out. The Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head set over here. That's like old school. That's what actually when you put like the plastic pieces in an actual potato instead of the plastic Mr. Potato Head. Gary's got an original Intellivision over here and some games from Intellivision. I was more of a Atari 2600 player back in the mid-'80s. I remember fondly going to the Shoppers World Mall in Framingham, Massachusetts, going to the Toys R Us and always picking up my games from my Atari 2600. But yeah, if you're an Intellivision freak, Gary's got your games and your consoles over here. I believe that's the JYD, the Junkyard Dog. I got him at home. Gary's got a Haunted Mansion playset over here. Never seen this before. Before YouTube, there was Viewmaster. Gary, what year is this Mr. Spock from?
76.
1976. So I was 2 years old. I was born in 74. I was 2 years old when this thing came out.
And one of you aged nicely.
Probably the box. You could just smell the vintageness of all these board games over here. Operation. I mean, that one looks kind of newer. But Fantastic Voyage. Ricochet Rabbit. The Flintstones. Come on. See, this is what I'm talking about. These old cassette tapes. Look at this Van Halen. A whole bunch of Van Halen tapes over here. Got some Led Zeppelin. Black Sabbath. Ozzy Osbourne. AC/DC. The Beatles. This is the kind of stuff I'm here for, man. Whoa. That's definitely vintage as well. Yeah, man, this convention's great for if you want to pick up some LPs, some CDs, some 8-tracks, and some cassettes. Look at this. Everything you want from Billy Joel is right here. Sammy Hagar, Bob Seger. Check out Gary's selection of LPs, records. Records are coming back, man. I just bought myself a new record player, probably about 5 years ago. It's also got a CD player, a tape deck, and Bluetooth, so I can play like all forms of media. But yeah, you're looking for records? Definitely out here. Gary also sells vintage tour t-shirts over here. Check it out. We got Kiss 2004 World Tour. I was there. I believe I was there. I think it was Kiss and Aerosmith. I saw them at the Great Woods. Well, I'm seeing a Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling action figure. Which figure is this? From the headband, it looks like it's actually Hulk Hogan. I'm Batman, and I'm Big Boy. Gary, what do you got coming up for future conventions here in Boxborough or elsewhere?
Next show here in Boxborough is June 28 and 29.
Yep.
Collectibles Extravaganza, 40th anniversary.
I love those shows.
It's where my first Adam West experience was 40 years ago.
Oh, I saw him. It was at Hanover.
Yeah, Hanover was his last appearance.
I was there. It was him and Burt Ward, and I got the pictures of the Cape Crusader and Batman.
And we had the Batmobile, and we had all kinds of fun.
Yep.
Adam was my dear friend for 35 years, and 40 years later, we're celebrating the Collectibles Extravaganza. It's June 28 and 29 right here in Boxborough at the Boxborough Regency Hotel.
Yep.
In October 4 and 5, we do another small Collectibles Extravaganza. And then the big Northeast Comic Con Thanksgiving weekend. That's right, Thanksgiving. Nobody wants to be with their relatives after 4 o'clock on Thursday. You don't want to be either. Book a hotel room. Come to Boxborough, Massachusetts. Northeast Comic Con. Derek and I will be having some fun. You should be there.
Oh, check it out. Alan Ruck's here from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, one of my favorite movies. I'll go in there and get a picture with Cameron. Hot Wheels. I definitely remember collecting Hot Wheels in the 80s. These are probably like, you know, more current day Hot Wheels, but yeah, I definitely collected a bunch of Hot Wheels back in the 80s. Where else are you gonna see Bugs Bunny, Elf, and Grogu all in the same video? I'm a huge Disney fan, but can you believe I've never seen Lilo and Stitch? I remember my sister collecting the Care Bears back in the 1980s. What's a better tag team? The Road Warriors from, you know, classic wrestling, or the Wild Stallions from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Who didn't love Police Academy, right? Dune. Toys R Us. What year is that? That's the original Dune, not the one that has been re-released, or the updated Dune. I've never seen those, the new ones, but I saw the old Dunes. Check this out. Also a vintage Rambo action figure over here. It's the USA Today newspaper from Back to the Future Part 2. Still with the original with a Toys R Us sticker on it. If you guys collect trading cards over here, we got
the Rambo, $90.
Got some Star Wars, got some E.T., Max Headroom. Who knew that Max Headroom had a trading card set? Night of the Living Dead. Sick. I have this back at my apartment. One of my friends was able to secure me a Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage Slim Jim. So I had to actually have one of these. You see it in the outro of every detour. I always get this booth at every Comic-Con that I go to, and I always have my eyes on the Reagan from Exorcist over there. I think they're lasting for $600 or whatever for this is awesome. This is like a Reagan Muppet. And this is awesome. All these hand puppets from the Mr. Rogers show when he goes to the land of make-believe. I believe that's what it was called. Except you got Ghostface over here next to the original Mr. Rogers characters. And of course, Michael Myers. They also got Sam from Trick or Treat over here, right next to an original Star Wars Death Star Space Station, $280 in box. I used to have that as a kid. That was it took up a lot of real estate in your house. That was a big toy. Millennium Falcon over here, $400 complete in box. Got a bunch of G.I. Joe action figures over here. Check it out, it's Sergeant Slaughter. Godzilla! I have mine at home, except I'm missing my firing fist, but this one looks to be complete with the firing fist. Those things go for primo money on eBay or at conventions. He-Man Castle Grayskull, I definitely had that as a kid. Definitely do not have it now as an adult. I also had Skeletor's Snake Mountain. He-Man, you boob! Had that back as a kid, no longer have it now. Oh, I definitely had this carrying case for my Masters of the Universe action figures. He-Man, Skeletor, He-Man, you boob! Nice. I was a big Archie's comic fan. Do you guys like Betty or Veronica as a girlfriend to Archie? I don't think either one of these are Betty or Veronica, but what was your favorite? Are you more of a Betty or Veronica person? I was more of a Betty. Damn, they got an LGN WWF wrestling ring out here. I used to have this. I broke the turnbuckle off of mine as a kid. I'm seeing Bruce the Barber Beefcake over here. Looks like he took out Big John Studd and Lex Luger, and I see Jake the Snake Roberts over there. Definitely a size difference in these action figures. Beefcake being an LGN, and these, I think these might have been thumb wrestlers. I'm a huge horror movie fan. We got some critters out here. I've never seen action figures for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Great movie. Robert Redford. An Elvis Presley guitar. How much is this thing? Beanie Babies. Remember these things? I actually watched a documentary. I forget, was it on Netflix? Whatever it was. I watched a documentary on Beanie Babies and the guy that started these things. I remember I had one. I had a shark. I had a shark Beanie Baby. My sister had quite a few Beanie Babies. It's always good coming back to these conventions and seeing stuff from your past. I'm seeing some vintage Kenner Star Wars action figures. I still have a bunch of mine, and I still have my Darth Vader carrying case for those vintage Star Wars action figures. Speaking of vintage Star Wars, check out that Lando Calrissian and that Chewbacca glass set. Is that from Burger King or McDonald's or something? Yeah, right there, confirmed from Burger King. See, I know my stuff. Get some more mugs over here. I think this is a McDonald's mug. I do collect McDonald's mugs. I don't have him. This is like the fish fillet guy, the fillet of fish guy, the Captain Fish, whatever his name is. I'm not a seafood guy, so I wouldn't collect this mug. Lee Majors, the $6 Million Man. I had that action figure, complete with like the special eye you gotta look through. He's like, $6 Million Man. There is the Bigfoot action figure. He was portrayed by Andre the Giant back in the $6 Million Man days. Roger Rabbit Kush Ball. Who remembers the Kush Balls? And this clock is definitely not on time. Speaking of which, did you guys set your clocks forward? It's spring ahead. Just like a gremlin, you can't give me any alcohol 24 hours before my surgery, and you can't feed me after midnight. No food, no drink, no water after midnight tonight. Got myself the lunch combo of 2 slices of cheese pizza, a bag of baked Lays, and a Coke. They don't have any Diet Coke, so they gave me the, the full octane Coke. It's fine. Nice. Garbage Pail Kid cards. Definitely remember collecting these back in middle school. And I remember my teacher taking these away from me back in middle school. Superman 2, R.I.P. Christopher Reeve, and of course Gene Hackman, who just passed away last week. Strawberry Shortcake. My sister definitely collected a Strawberry Shortcake action figure set. This is actually Strawberry Shortcake. Look at it. $25. You can buy it out here at the convention. Butter cookies. My sister also collected the My Pretty Ponies. They have those out here at the convention. Cowabunga, dude. We got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle trading cards out here. Vintage Star Wars action figure overload. Check this booth out. I have a lot of these action figures still. They were never thrown away. My parents never threw them away. I never threw them away. Yeah, I have a lot of these still back at my apartment. Teen Wolf. Nice. Is that Donald Duck as Buzz Lightyear? And Homer Simpson as Buzz Lightyear? Well, I mean, I guess Homer Simpson would be more like Buzz Lightyear, drinking and all. I definitely had that action figure back in the 80s. What was his name? It's from Battlestar Galactica. Was it Wicked or Wicket? Anyways, I had that guy. He was like a space dog. I still have an original Smurf or two. You probably saw him at the beginning of this video. Here's some more Smurfs. Nice. Mr. T is Clubber Lang from Rocky 3. And I got some Clash of the Titans action figures over here. Perseus. Ooh, yeah. It's the Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah. Right over here next to the NWO Hulk Hogan brother. So much wrestling goodness over here. Check out all these action figures I'm seeing. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Tito Santana right there. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. I'm seeing Rowdy Piper by the way, he put me in a sleeper hold. I still have all my original LGN WWF action figures. Hulk Hogan right there, front and center. Got Greg the Hammer Valentine, still have him at home. Corporal Kirshner. Ooh. Bruno Sammartino, I don't have him. I don't have Ted Arcidi. Seeing some Raiders of the Lost Ark action figures. I still have mine at home. There's Indy down there and Marion without the dress. Uh-oh, is this safe for YouTube? And then we got the German Nazi Indy right there. Lots of Harry Potter stuff out here. You know what? I've never seen a Harry Potter movie. Maybe after I have my surgery on Monday, when I'm sitting there at home on my painkillers, maybe I'll just watch all the Harry Potter movies back to back to back to back to back. You know what? I think I need to go home with this Figment action figure. I'm a huge Epcot guy. I'm a huge Figment guy. Yeah, that's mine. The back of Figment said this is from 1982 Disney Spacesuit Figment. $9. Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks over here, possibly portraying Rocky. E.T. Phone Home. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. 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 Before the Lord of the Rings movies came out, back in the 70s and 80s, we had The Hobbit with Bilbo Baggins. I had all the action figures. Here is like a pin set for the characters from that show. You never see Popeye the Sailor Man stuff anymore. I'm glad to see some Popeye is still represented out here. Digging these horror shadow boxes over here. I'm seeing Creepshow, The Thing, Saw. Nice. Ghostbusters, Marshmallow Man, jumbo figure. $400. I wonder if this is from 1984 or not. Look at these vintage Return of the Jedi pendants over here. Seeing Yoda, R2-D2, Darth Vader. Oh, that's really cool. Is that like a Universal Monsters The Fly action figure? Or is this from some kind of TV show? To me, it looks like The Fly. Classic Universal Monster. If you're old like me, you remember Tupperware. This is like a mini version of Tupperware. Whoa, speaking math, I definitely had that. Although it never helped me out because I was in college for an extra year because I couldn't pass math. 5 years of college. Little tray of knickknacks. I'm kind of digging this, like a little jack-o'-lantern Pez dispenser. Oh, who's this? It's Scrooge McDuck. I heard it through the grapevine that the California Raisins are out here in Boxborough today. I'm a huge Baloo fan. Good to see Baloo out here. I actually have a Baloo tattoo on my arm. This isn't from Jungle Book, though. This is Baloo from Tailspin. I collect Baloo. Should I collect him, too? Muscles. Who remembers Muscles? I still have my Return of the Jedi speeder bike. Complete bike with the stormtrooper that goes on top of him. Never lost that thing. Wouldn't be a pop culture convention without some James Bond action. There's a Aston Martin.
Oh, are these
Pierce Bronson as James Bond. My favorite James Bond is Sean Connery. Is that even an Aston Martin? Aston Martin is what Sean Connery drove in Dr. No, I believe Goldfinger, but anyways. Do-do-do-do-do-do. What's this bear doing? Smoking a bowl? Maxim Magazine. Remember the Maxim Magazine? Actually, I got in trouble at work for bringing this to work. It's not like it's a Playboy or anything, but I mean, still, someone complained. I'm Batman. Damn, a Hamburglar action figure. I might have to leave today with this thing. I don't know what the hell this thing is, but I'm going to call it Rambo versus Godzilla. I'm a big E.T. fan, especially E.T. stuff from the 80s. I don't think I saw this back in the 80s, E.T. with the red sweatshirt. I think this is a newer E.T. toy. Check out this Superman hand puppet. This thing is definitely old school. Return of the Jedi, the storybook based on the movie. I think I've checked this thing out of my public library back in the 80s several times. I was still am a huge Star Wars fan. Or else you're going to see a Transformer right next to the Annie Limousine and R2-D2. Well, that's going to be it for my day here at the Northeast Comic-Con and Collectibles Extravaganza. Saw a bunch of toys from my past. A lot of stuff from my past that I didn't see out here that I was looking for, but whatever. Killed a couple hours. It's always a great convention out here. Date, time, and temperature. Saturday, March 15th, 2025. 9 o'clock in the morning at 40 degrees. Today marks 230 days until Halloween, October 31st, 2025. But today there is a small convention. It's we'll say like a haunted marketplace that will help us scratch our itch until we can get down towards the Halloween season. You guys know I'm a big fan of monsters. I'm a big fan of Halloween. So I'm excited for what today brings. Having some oatmeal with my coffee for breakfast before we hit today's detour. For today's detour, you and I have traveled to New Bedford, Massachusetts, more specifically over here to the Whalers Inn and Suites in New Bedford, Massachusetts, for a convention I've never been to before. It's called Monster Mag Maker's Market Cabin Fever Edition. So it appears that the people that bring you Monstah Expo, which we go to for the last several years, are bringing you this mini horror marketplace. It's a one-day only event. It's from 11 to 6 today. 35 vendors selling unique horror-related products, one-of-a-kind, homemade stuff. I don't know. I've never been to this before. I'm excited to bring you along. So join me today as we scratch that Halloween itch here at the Monster Mag Maker's Market Cabin Fever Edition 2025. Well, it appears that some sort of monster showed up today here in New Bedford and took out the sign for this establishment. Well, it looks like they got a bar. They sure do. It's Ryan's Pub. Got myself an ice cold draft beer. Admission to this event today is totally free. Check this stuff out. Right when I entered the convention, seen this booth over here. They got some, ooh, you guys are a fan of like Addams Family. You got some Cousin It. What else you got? You got Cousin It?
Got Cousin Ed, some little Wookiees.
You got some Wookiees. So you guys, these are all hand-built?
Yes, that is correct.
Hand-built, not hand-sewn, handmade.
Yes.
Here is the company right here. Oh, you like the Salem content too?
Yeah.
That's probably my most popular stuff is the Salem content and the convention circuit content, but definitely the Salem stuff. I appreciate you guys enjoying that stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do.
I just got Ghostface over here. You got Jason. All these ghouls. Check out this spooky, like, Halloween costumes. Vintage spooky. Check that stuff out.
Oh, that is a bat skull.
A bat?
Those are real bats. That's a bat skull. And these are a real bat right here.
Oh, there's actually a bat inside there. Whoa, you're looking at the inside of like Dracula's coffin. If you want to check out Jay of the Dead on Instagram, here is the QR code. This booth over here. Some little backpacks over here. I definitely believe. What's my favorite candle right here? Probably. I'm thinking maybe the Bride of Frankenstein. Although I am seeing Leatherface down here and the Crypt Keeper and Jason. I don't know. I'm still going with the Bride. It's got some original prints. Over here at this booth, Silver Bullet Studios Inc. Loving the artwork on the banner right there. I'm definitely loving the artwork of this artist. Check this stuff out. Look at that Nightmare on Elm Street and the Jason Takes Manhattan. It's amazing. Got some prints over here. In fact, you know what? I definitely have that. It's on my refrigerator, front and center. It's definitely cold up here in the Northeast, and a Michael Myers sweatshirt would definitely be the appropriate attire to be wearing this time of year. Well, probably closer October, but you know what? What is it? Again, 260 days to Halloween. I always buy a t-shirt from this booth over here. I'm a huge fan of the WLVI TV 56 Creature Double Features. I have the Godzilla, and of course I have the Frankenstein's Monster TV 56 Creature Double Feature t-shirt. I'm over here at this booth, Within Dreams, and check out these t-shirts I got. L Street Cemetery, tell me about your booth.
So I actually craft little spooky terrariums.
Okay.
And little things like ornaments, glass coffins, and mason jars.
Yep.
And everything from skeletons, cats, and ghosts mostly.
Look at this stuff, huh?
Tiny little underworlds.
Tiny little underworlds. I like the way that you said that. I'm definitely digging these VCR tapes. Dripping with blood. They got Stab out here also. Scream. Also Friday the 13th out here. Tell me about Naughty Witches.
Okay, so Naughty Witches is a small business from the South Coast, in fact, New Bedford, where we are today. We create candles. So a lot of these candles are intentional candles. So we have ones for cleansing, mood stabilizing, trusting your intuition, money.
What's up? I'm Simon. I'm here to introduce you to the booth. It's pretty much all awesome stuff with me in it. Mostly, we have a comic series, Autumn Gray, which stars me, and then it turned into an RPG where you play monsters like me. Again, it is all about me. So check it out.
I'm a pop culture artist. I do a lot of horror-related work. I've done some work for Fright Rags. I do sketch cards. And the biggest thing I'm doing right now are autographed one-of-one sketch cards.
Okay.
So I hand draw a card.
Yep.
And then I leave a space at the bottom to have a celebrity sign it.
Okay.
So I have some pop culture stuff, but I have a ton of horror cards too.
So
I have a giant display of them.
over here, this is what you're...
Yep, those are all signed by the stars who play the characters.
And you drew all those?
I drew all those cards, yeah.
We want that one.
That's amazing.
So $80 signed. You don't have to stand in line. You don't have to wait to meet her.
And it's
You know what I
certified.
mean? And it's certified.
But don't you kind of want to meet her, though?
I mean, sure, but when you don't have the time and she's not around, it's good to get them from him.
Nice. An 8-bit Jason Voorhees and an 8-bit Jaws. I'm back home. I had a large cheese pizza delivered to me from Papa Gino's. Trying to keep it retro, trying to keep it 80s. Papa Gino's was my place, man. Back at the Shoppers World Mall in Framingham. That was like the place that my buddies and I used to hang out. That's going to be it for this detour documenting 2 conventions. The Northeast Comic-Con and Collectibles Extravaganza 2025 and the Monster Mag Makers Market 2025 Cabin Fever Edition. You know what to do next. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It helps more people see the video. Leave a comment down below. I always answer all the comments. If you haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing to Detours. Click that red subscribe button. While you're clicking away, click that small bell. It'll give you instant notification every single time I upload a brand new Detour. I invite you to check me out on social media. I'm on Instagram at Derek Millen. DerekMillen. Also have a Facebook group, Derek Millen's Detours. I gotta give a big thanks and a shout out to those Detour viewers that help support the channel financially, and apparently my hospital co-pays, by donating to my Patreon page. Big shout out to Karen O'Reilly, Marshall Brown, Peter Jargalos, Dane Lavender, Steve Davis, C. Marie, David Goldman, Matthew Harton, Megan Milliman, Stephen Brady, Emilio Flores, Danielle Benedenti, Jeff Knudsen, Hubie Dubois, Mac Malo, Brian Dugan, Ron Crocker, Ben Smith, Vesper and Ollie Anderson, Senior U-Team, Bitchy Witch and Spooky, Jonathan Shealy, Joel Riendo, James Himmelman, Tenacious Day, Girl Meets History, Runty and Mr. Beanie, Joe and Stacy, Steve White, Bill Lutz, Richard Clacka, Zombie Joe, Keith and Don Gagne, John Bryson, Taylor and Courtney Wingard, Jenny Cooper, the Pierce family, John Nelson, John and Mel, Jesse DeStasio, Renee Gunther, Dan Hanlon, Michael Hawk, the Rebecca Sniffen family, Tom Fallon, George Lopez, Will Lewison, Courtney and Jordan, David Coca, Trey and Ginny, James Cooper, Alexandra and Frank, the Deans, Juan and Letty Martinez, Misty Dawn Wagner, Lori Schoenhard, Danielle Burns, and Devin and Shannon Gores. Thank you all so very much for your generous donations. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for enjoying my content that much that you want to help support the channel financially. You guys are the best fans. You guys are the biggest fans. And, of course, I wish you a happy, a healthy, a safe, and a wicked fun 2025. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next Detour.